This is the walkthrough guide on how to get CryptoRide up and running. What we'll first need is Xcode. We'll need Xcode installed on a MacBook, and we also need Git, and we also need CocoaPods. Now, CocoaPods is similar to NPM. It's NPM for Swift, or for iOS apps, or Xcode projects. Yeah, so you can head over to the CocoaPods website and install that. They have a good tutorial on how to do that. What we'll first need to do is git clone the project repo. So we'll copy the git URL and we'll run in our terminal. We'll run git clone, paste it in, and I'm just gonna clone it to my desktop here. Okay, so now we have the project downloaded, and we'll be working with the iOS directory in the backend directory. We won't be messing around with the smart contracts, as the smart contract we have uploaded is on the testnet. So what we'll first do is cd into iOS. Oops. We have our driver and passenger apps. We can then cd into the driver app. And the processes are the same for both apps. And we'll just run pod install. Then it'll download our dependencies. Okay. You can cd back into the passenger app. We'll just run pod install. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll go back to the main directory and we'll cd into the back end. Okay, then we'll cd into the Express Connect, Social Connect Express, which is the Express server. And we'll run npm install. This will install our node libraries. Okay. Now we can leave the terminal open. We'll run npm start, and that will launch our server. Okay, so leave that up and running. Now what we'll do is open Xcode. And then we can open existing project, and we'll navigate over to our desktop into iOS, and then we'll do the driver one first. And we'll be working with the workspace and not the Xcode project extension. So we want to select the workspace because that includes our pod files. Close out all those. One thing to note is the extension. So signing capabilities. When it comes to signing for a team, if you just downloaded Xcode and you don't have a team, that's okay. You can just set it. It'll probably be set to none. If you wanted to deploy it on a physical device, you'll need a developer account with Apple, and then just register your Xcode project or sign in with your developer account with Xcode. But you can just leave it to none, and that allows you to build it to a simulator and just not a real device. So we can build this, and we're actually deploying it to an iPhone 14. Now what we can do is open another window for so I'm just navigating back to our main directories into iOS, passengers, and then we'll open the other workspace for our passenger app. Let's exit out all this. I just want to double check to make sure that our signing capabilities is set to none. And this is also very important to run it on a separate device. So this is iPhone 14 Pro, and our driver is on iPhone 14. Okay, so here's iPhone 14. It's launching the driver app. We'll just let that load all the way. Then we'll build and deploy for the passenger app. Okay, so as you can see, we have our passenger and our driver apps up and running. We can just minimize our everything else. Okay, and that's how you get the both projects up and running. Now, I did the video backwards, so you go watch the previous video if you want to see the full walkthrough.